Hello, welcome. Before moving on to test script creation, we will understand the workload modeling, which is one of the important aspect of performance testing. Workload modeling in performance testing involves creating a simulation of the anticipated real world usage of an application or a system. Here we will try to simulate the real world usage of an application. It is critical step to ensure that performance tests accurately reflect how the application will behave under various conditions. So basically in workload modeling, we will try to mimic the actual usage of an application or a system. Now let us understand key aspects involved in workload modeling. Some of the key aspects of workload modeling involve user profile, transaction mix, arrival rate, think time, concurrency levels, data variability. User profile, we need to identify different types of users and their behavior. This includes specifying the actions they perform and frequency of those actions and distribution of these users over a time. And transaction mix means different types of transactions and operations user perform and their relative proportion. For example, in an e-commerce application, this could include browsing a product, adding item to the cart, and completing purchase. Arrival rate, establish the rate at which users or transactions arrive at the system. This can be constant or vary over time to simulate the peak and off-peak usage period. Think time. Think time includes delay between user actions to mimic human interactions, such as time spent reading a page before making a next click. Concurrency levels. Define number of simultaneous users or sessions to test how the system handles multiple users at the same time. Data variability, ensure the test data is varied and realistic, reflecting actual usage pattern to identify performance issues that could arise from different data inputs. Now let us consider this application. Assume that there are 2000 users using this application and each user will be doing different transactions. Or here someone might be searching here, key in some value and search here, and some other user might be browsing the product and click here, and some user might be doing a sign in here, and so on, right? Each user might be doing their own transactions, so we need to identify how much percentage of users are doing what. Here mainly this is an e-commerce application. Here some users might be browsing the product, some users might be searching the product, some users might be viewing these details of these products like this, and some users will log in here and they might add the product to the cart and do the checkout, right? So these are different types of actions that might be performed by different users. So we need to find how much proportion of users are doing what action. So this is called workload modeling. If there are 1000 users using the application, all 1000 users will not be doing the same thing. They will be doing different things. Someone might sign out, someone might be signing in, someone might be adding a product to the cart, right? So we need to do that workload modeling. Now let us practically do this workload modeling for this application. Now let us assume that this application has a 10,000 users per hour. It is having a maximum of 2000 and it has a maximum concurrent users of 2000. Now this application can have a three different types of user profiles. They are browsers, shoppers and buyers. Browsers means you just view the product, browse the website. Shoppers means you add the product to the cart and just leave it there. Buyers means you complete the transaction, right? Let us assume that, and these details you need to get from the business and a product owner, right? They will be having a better idea on how many users are doing what transactions. These details they can get from the analytics of the project, right? So let us assume that 60% of users will be browsing, 30% of users will be adding a product to the cart, and 10% of users will be completing their purchase, right? So users per hour will be this much, but we are more interested in concurrent users. So it means 60% of concurrent users are 2000. That will be 1200 users which will be doing a browse. Similarly, 30% of 2000 users, that is a 600 users, will be shoppers. It means they will add the product to the cart and they will stop there. And 10% of users, which is 200, 10% of 2000 users, it should be 200 users will be completing the purchase. Now we got a different types of users, and how many users are performing different actions, right? So now we need to identify these users are might be performing different types of action. For example, browse means he might be searching the product here like this, and some users might be viewing the product in detail, right? Like this, product details might be viewing, right? So like this. So browsers, some users will be searching the details, let us say 70% of users, and some users are viewing the product details, that is 30%, right? And shoppers means they will search the product and they will also view the product and they will also add the product to the cart. So let us assume 50% are searching, 30% are viewing the details, and remaining 20% of the users will add the product to the cart, right? Similarly, those who are buying the product also, initially they will do the search and view the details, add the product to the cart and do the checkout. And all the users who added the product to the cart may not check out, right? So that is also one thing you need to consider. So similarly, now we have got this different user profiles and also transactions. Now concurrent user performing the action, right? Search. Here we need to get this 70% of the users are doing search. It means 70% of the browsing users, right? It means 1200 into 70%, right? 70% of the users who are browsing, that is 1200, are doing the search, and 30% of the users are doing a view details. 30% of the browsing users means this, we are talking about the browsing users here. So 30% of 1200 is 360, right? 30% of 1200. Similarly, total number of shopping users are 600, right? 50% of 600 is 300, 30% of 600 is 180, 20% of 600 is 120, right? So they will be searching, some users will be adding to the cart, some users will be viewing the details, right? Similarly, buyers, total buyers are 200, 40% of the buyers are viewing the, that they are doing search, 40% of the buying users are doing a search, right? 40% of 200 is 80. Similarly, 30% of 200 is 60, and 20% are adding to the cart. 20% of 200 is 40, and 10% are actually doing a checkout. 10% of 200 is 20, right? So this is how we have done a distribution. I have given a formula also here, how these numbers we got here, right? How many users are doing how much each action, right? We got this using this formula. You can refer this formula here. We need to use concurrent users and transaction mix, this table, concurrent users and transaction mix. this percentage you need to take, and we need to calculate the values here, right? So now in order type also there are different products, right? And all the 20 users may not be doing checkout for the same product. For example, here if you go here, there are different types of product: fish, dogs, cats, reptiles and birds, right? So let us assume 20% of the users are doing fish, ordering a fish, 20% are ordering a dog, 20% are ordering a cat, 20% are ordering reptile, and remaining 20 are ordering a birds. Similarly, so 20% of 20 users, which is equal to 4. 4 users each are doing these transactions, so that will be 20 users are completing the order checkout, and all the 20 users are not buying the same product. We need to distribute that again. 4 users are ordering a fish, 4 users are ordering dogs, 4 users are ordering cats, 4 users are ordering reptiles, and 4 users are ordering birds, right? And this is a summary table. This is how we perform the workload modeling. Workload modeling is to create the simulation of anticipated workload on the application under test. We will try to simulate the actual production workload here by doing this, and these user counts and percentage of users we need to get from the analytics team, so that we will get to know about different types of users and types of transactions they are performing. Based on that, we need to plan our workload, right? This is called workload modeling. I will attach this workload modeling file in the resource section of the lecture. You can use this for your practice purpose. Thank you for watching.